Acting President, it's your time. Can we stand up once more and welcome him, please? He is my boss in SANAC, as you know, the chairperson of SANAC. And he's going to show you the condoms one more time. He is going to.
Thank you. Thank you. Program directors, thank you very much. MEC Gwen, Rato, thank you for the opportunity. The acting premier of Gauteng, MEC Mazibuko, the Minister of Health, Dr. Aaron Swaledi, our ministers and deputy ministers, my deputy chairperson of SANAC, Steve. Today you were very angry. I don't know what happened. Very angry. Something happened that is not right. I understand. UNAIDS representatives, especially my brother here, Michelle, our special guests from Global Fund, Peter, thank you for sharing this day with us. Members of the diplomatic corps, our religious leaders, our members from the disability sector, thank you for coming, and once again we apologize for the inconvenience, adding to what MEC Gwen said. It will never happen again. Our guests, our young people, and fellow South Africans, thank you very much for joining us on this World AIDS Day. This World AIDS Day is a day of commemoration, in as much as it is a day of action. It is a call to all of our people to know their status, to care for their well-being, to take responsibility for their own health and that of others. The fight against HIV and AIDS can never be won without considerable effort, hard work, and dedication from all of us. It cannot be won without human agency. It cannot be won outside change in our behavior and in managing the expression of our sexual identity. The World AIDS Day is a day that demands all of us to pause, to think and reflect, to ensure that no matter our stations in life, no matter our age, no matter our class, no matter our gender, we all take responsibility by testing for HIV and TB, cancer, and other ailments. It calls on us to take preventative measures as a first stance in tackling this pandemic. Equally today, we're entering a new era, an era of empowerment in knowing our status. For today, we call on all of us to a campaign of knowing our status, of getting tested, and making the necessary change to sustain our health. Asambeni so cheka impilo yetu. Today marks 30 years since the first World AIDS Day that was held in London in 1988. Since then, we've come a long way in testing, in treating and managing the spread of HIV and AIDS. Today, we're able to manage and frustrate its ultimate end of deteriorating into acquired immune deficiency. Our fight against HIV and AIDS throughout the years has had many ebbs, has had many challenges, and has had many flaws. We've had time of wisdom, times of vice, times of science, sense of ignorance. We've had times of arrogance and times of stigma, times of care and times of reckless abandon. Yet we have emerged from these afflictions with the resilience of a nation renowned of its best HIV response in the world. It has been a long and a very difficult journey for our country. Though we stand proud, tall, and on a pedestal with our achievements so profound, the road ahead of us remains long, but not very difficult. It is still winding and very challenging, with a lot of pitfalls and rough edges in abundance. Yet we are determined to walk this last mile of our way of a seemingly distant future, a future of infinite possibilities, a future of an HIV-free world. Even though that day is elusive, we will keep walking, for it is within reach. We will keep walking because we are determined. As South Africans, we are a nation that is known for our resilience against any adversity. We keep walking because we are committed to zero new infections of HIV and TB. We keep working because we are determined and committed to zero discrimination and stigma against those afflicted by HIV. We are committed to zero AIDS-related deaths and zero new vertical transmission. This journey we will not walk alone, for we have always had caring friends across the globe. The friends are here today. UNAIDS, Global Fund, the US government itself, all our friends are here. We have been working with them. We are all too aware that together, standing hand in hand, walking side by side, with all shoulders to the wheel, with our partners in the Global Fund, in the US Presidency Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, the UNAIDS, and other civil society organizations, we have a global force of change to be reckoned with, a very strong one. With these very long-lasting friends, with each of our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper, will ultimately rid the world of HIV and AIDS. We are all fellow travelers that are ever more committed to walk this long and imperiled road together. From the ultimate milestone of an HIV-free world, we shall stand, we shall not hesitate, we shall not deter, we shall not give up or look back. For we know what unity and struggle mean. It means, insofar as HIV and AIDS is concerned, we are neither giving in nor turning back. We'll continue with more vigor and new impetus. We will stand and fight the HIV pandemic together as a nation. We understand the lessons from our stigmatized past. We're all too conscious of the pain and the sorrow we have suffered to arrive at the point of comprehensive HIV response. We have had a terrible road, a painful one. To date, our country has initiated 4.3 million South Africans on antiretroviral treatment in the public sector alone, with an additional of 235,000 in the private sector. This is not a solo achievement by the state, as you have heard from the minister. It is rather a collective achievement from the courageous struggles of great men like Michelle and great women that are present here today from around the world and within the country. So it is our collective achievement. It is the fruit of those who refused to be silent when people lost their lives and were denied life-saving treatment by cost alone. It is a sign of their courage and conviction not to cower from confronting this pandemic with science, with sensibility, and comprehensive research. They remain today as they were yesterday, as it will be tomorrow, the lodestars that will inflame our commitment to fight HIV for generations to come. In their memory and commitment to their legacy, we will leave no stone unturned to create an HIV-free world. We'll work together with our young people. We'll allow them to lead the way, because they have to lead the world tomorrow. In their innumerate struggles, they have created caring governments, active and well-heeled civil society. Our achievement, as I've said, must go to all of us. Deputy Chair of SANAC, want to thank civil society for all what we have achieved as a country. It was not easy, we fought, but we are proud that we have made a difference. They have united a people determined to put an end to a national despair and support people bulking under the yoke of this disease. Today we count these victories as they are. For HIV, it's not just a virus that afflicts the health of individuals. It destroys families and it destroys communities. It handicaps nations and holds out socio-economic potential of a nation. Most importantly, it is a parasite that targets the poor and the vulnerable. It thrives in conditions where women cannot negotiate condom use from a position of power. It depends on superstitions. It depends on ignorance and stigma to kill hope, to kill people, and to kill aspirations. It is merciless in its targeting of innocent children and young girls. It devalues the sanctity of human life and affronts the right to health and subjugates those without resources to fight its cowardly afflictions. Understanding its license to kill, we are determined to fight back by ensuring that our healthcare system is accessible to all our people, and it's accessible and it's good for all our people, regardless of their racial standing, regardless of their class in society. As a government, we are too well aware that our responsibility is to provide leadership, is to provide a vision and a policy solution to take this country forward. And I must say, over the past years, government has risen to that responsibility. We're also aware that the needs of a society always determine its values. Just as leadership must show foresight and must show vision. For when governments fail, people fail. When governance collapses, services suffer. When healthcare is dysfunctional, people die. Families are decimated by preventable and manageable diseases. National development is curtailed. This imposes on us a national imperative to ensure that healthcare is affordable, is efficient, and it's accessible to all our people. It's not overburdened, and it's one of the best quality possible that we can offer to our citizens. No more must people be deprived of treatment. Respect and life-saving care because of their race, because of their social standing, and other accidents of birth. We are not going to discriminate as we offer this service. We are going to offer it to everyone. No more must what is best be considered better by the stretch of one's rent or the depth of your pocket. We are committed to rooting out inefficiency, laxity, and dysfunction from our health system. We must turn this tide. We are determined to be efficient. We are determined to be effective and to use the little resources we have to the best of our ability. We are not launching this campaign just to while away time. We are launching this campaign because we mean business. We will be capable as government to handle the numbers that will come to our facilities. We're ready. We're ready for the journey. In the last year alone, we have managed to test 11 million people and initiated 567,293 people on ARVs. We are targeting HIV together with its fraternal sibling, tuberculosis. We are determined to find those that are missing, those who have got little knowledge, and those that are very vulnerable to multi-drug resistant TB. We are determined to find them. We seek to screen and test 14 million people for HIV and TB, and 7 million people for high blood pressure and diabetes. This will help us to add an additional 2 million HIV-infected persons to the existing 4.3 million already in our system that are receiving treatment. Going forward, our focus should be on young people and young men. It is young people, especially those between 15 and 24 years of age, and men that are not testing for HIV, not being initiated to ARVs, and not reaching the viral suppression. But all those efforts will come to zero if we are not of a single mind and share a common purpose as a country. A major factor in successfully implementing our national strategic plan is the functionality of all our AIDS councils, starting with the National AIDS Council, coming to our provincial AIDS councils, to our local district AIDS councils, and to open up. Let's allow civil society in their different sectors to participate in our AIDS councils. We've heard the cry that these AIDS councils must be supported financially. This should not be seen as the sole responsibility of those working in the sector, but the responsibility of all of us to build healthy communities that are free from the pandemic of AIDS and TB. It is therefore incumbent upon all of us to cultivate a culture of acting and active citizenship, where we work, we socialize, we club together for the progress of our nation. I was very proud today to see the courage of young people that are prepared to stand up and win this fight. This is very encouraging. In any event, active citizenship is a civic duty to keeping government focused, accountable, and responsive. All of us must do our part to improve our nation, to improve our country. We are looking to our young people to play a leading role in this struggle as capable and dynamic agents of change. We look to them and to their energy to be revolutionary ambassadors across society, ambassadors that advance awareness about how to prevent TB and stop TB and AIDS-related deaths. We're looking towards civil society, business, and traditional leaders to actively take part in this fight against HIV and AIDS and TB. This should be a collective fight. If there was any time where the voice and the weight of our traditional leaders is required to champion this cause, it is now. Traditional leaders are very important to address the question of tradition. Tradition that seeks to escalate or protect certain tendencies that seeks to escalate this disease. Traditional leaders would be helpful to deal with the question of patriarchy. In certain instances, it is embedded in our traditions, and it must be confronted. By taking responsibility through our activism, by bringing our voices to bear on these and other challenges, we can end the pitfalls of ignorance, we can end discrimination, we can end the stigma that is associated with HIV and AIDS. It is all in our hands. It all begins with you, with me, and with everybody. Let us all test for HIV, for TB, and cancer to take charge of this gift called life. On this World AIDS Day, let us commend and celebrate those who have taken the first step towards that direction. They will remain our untold heroes and heroines. They've carried the burden on their shoulders to protect themselves, their loved ones, and all others around them. In their honor, one preventable death is one death too many. For their courage and valor untold, we will all do well to emulate their wisdom, to emulate their good example. Just as we fight the HIV pandemic, we should with equal measure fight to end the culture of gender-based violence. It is a blight on our democracy that we fought so hard to end. Gender-based violence does not represent the values that we stood for, the values that we fought for, the values of Ubuntu, and those of our human rights that we stand for and we have pronounced in our supreme law, the Constitution. We must, as men, respect women. We must, as boys, respect girls. The time is always now when parents die and children became orphans to lead child-headed households. The time is always now when women continue to live under the yoke of oppression, to live under subjugation and the tyranny of patriarchy. The time is always now when stigma and ignorance prevent people from adhering to treatment. The time is always now to have courage to go and test and to live a responsible and a productive life, whether one is negative or living with HIV. It is my sincere belief that the end of HIV and AIDS is within reach, and a better tomorrow is within our hands. I hope today you'll join all of us and you'll all make a small contribution in taking us closer to an HIV-free world by testing and by knowing your status. I believe it will happen in my lifetime. It will happen in our lifetime, if not in our children's lifetime. On countless occasions, we have proven to the world out there our capacity as a nation, as a people, to overcome any adversity. Lastly, as I thank all our partners in this journey, I thank our fellow travelers, all those who have contributed in their time, in resources that they've availed to help the South African people. Once again, thank you to business, thank you to UNAIDS, thank you to Global Fund, thank you to the US government. You have been always with us. Thank you very much. Miss Jessie. Miss Jessie. Do you like that name, Jessie? Jessie? You like it? You know what it means? You don't know. I will tell you outside. What Jessie means. But thank you very much for all the support that you've given our people. We are not taking this support that you have given to us for granted. We know that you have traveled distances to come and share this day with us, to come and share this day with our people. Some, as we speak, are lying on their beds. Some, as we're speaking, they are struggling. What we're doing here, we're making a contribution to their life, to the lives of those that are infected, and those that should be prevented from getting this disease. Once more, thank you very much. Let's enjoy this day and look forward to a very long journey, long, hard journey before us. Thank you very much. I'm told by my deputy chair that I must once again show you this, that you must use it, different flavors. I'm told that when you use them, they smell very nice and they don't make noise, so you must use it. Thank you.
Hello, this is SABC News. We've just been watching the South Africa's main World AIDS Day